Hello, Sprouts! Welcome. My name is Gordanya. Many of you may remember me from my reaction videos back when I was Gordy the Gardener. I changed my name because it was too long, it was causing a lot of odd problems. And also I've since, as you can see, I've debuted recently with a new model. One that I will hopefully stay with for a good long while, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. This video is, we'll call it an experimental walking back of a video I made before. Not even 100%, but I've been looking at everything that I've been doing recently, where I've tried to do a couple different video series. The Gaming Gourd Bazaar, which was designed to be a heavily edited game review series, I guess, and the Demo Derby series, where I play through mostly an unedited video of various game demos of indie games, especially ones that haven't come out yet. And I've been enjoying doing those, but I don't think anybody cares about those, like even less than they did my reaction content. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna do one reaction video. We're gonna do one, we're gonna see how it goes. If it does well, I'm probably gonna move my Demo Derby series back to my second channel and call it a day. The Gaming Gourd series, there's only 2 episodes, I don't have to keep doing those. I mean, I might still, but they're not gonna be front and center content anymore, because it's clear that anything I do is it's not welcomed by YouTube at the very least. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, but otherwise if the numbers equate to, I guess, the same as the usual, I'll just kind of keep doing what I want and be happy with it. So, we'll see. Anyways, enjoy the reaction. Bao, I've noticed a couple of videos now where Bao has been posting a lot of stuff that's going off on the deep end, like, big time. And I'm concerned because she's one of the biggest VTubers out there, one of the first ones. Or, not one of the first ones, maybe, I don't know. She's definitely been around for a long time. And this is something I've noticed for a while. It seems like when people get to a certain degree of fame, or have been around for a while, they start going loony. They start adopting some really crazy ideas and shit. And I thought Bao was okay. Because, I mean, I don't follow her that much, so I don't know what kind of content she makes. I just know she's been around and was beloved for a long time. Something's been happening recently where she's just kind of going off the deep end. I don't know what's going on. So I guess we'll let Rev here explain what's going on. Please do take it away. 3, 2, 1, boop.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rev here. So
Hi.
today we're gonna be once again talking about Bao the Whale, a very popular indie VTuber who we've talked about a couple times on this channel, largely in situations where I thought she was being treated unfairly in one form or another.
Maybe,
but over
yeah.
the past couple of days, she has been nothing but an L-fat.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know too much about Bao, or, you know, besides the fact that she's... I remember the one tweet where she said she likes being horny on main, which, I mean, you know, to each their own. I have seen a couple of posts about the tweets that she's made, and yeah, I can understand why people would be upset with her, so yeah.
Factory on Twitter.com. She's been making a lot of posts that have been received very negatively, people interpreting some of her tweets as being the product of misandry, as well as people claiming she's spreading misinformation about Japanese.
Is misandry and misogyny the same thing? I'm genuinely confused because I've never heard... Because I've heard misandry a couple of times, but I don't know if it's any different than misogyny. I don't know what's happening here.
Art platforms, and her responses to it have not been good. She's been doubling down, tripling down, caught in lies, and also basically saying I'm just engagement farming and this is not a big deal. Well, it seems like a big deal. She seems to be taking this very seriously now, and yeah, so let's run down what we talked about a few days ago real briefly. She made this post basically saying if you're a small female content creator, if a large male content creator approaches you and love bombs you, you should be cautious. And people, at first...
I'm gonna be honest, I thought this was based off of the Emiru thing, so I think what she's trying to say is that, you know, maybe that not every, big male creator that shows up to you is going to be safe to deal with. Maybe she knows something we don't. I don't know.
Many interpret it as the product of misandry. They thought she was saying all men bad type tweet.
It can be interpreted. Okay, yeah. So maybe misandry and misogyny are similar. I don't know. I apologize. I am uncultured in that regard because I have other things that I worry about instead of worrying about stuff like that. I thought she was. Oh, I thought she was just talking about the stuff happening at TwitchCon though. So maybe that's just me.
After she would correct kind of what she meant, claiming that she wasn't talking about just one variation that...
Yeah, I think she was just generalizing, like, the Twitch stuff, the TwitchCon stuff. That's what I thought was happening.
It could be like a male VTuber to a female VTuber, or a female to a male, or a female to female, right, and so on and so forth. But some people thought she was just trying to cover up a tweet that she was getting criticism for, and some people just continued to believe that she made a post that had misandry in it, and a lot of people who were giving her the benefit of the doubt on this series of replies, even they started to scratch their heads when there was this situation. Now, likes are private on Twitter, but you can see the like.
Yeah, so you when you get a highlight, it's yeah. This is probably something I'm gonna need to worry about if I get any significantly bigger on Twitter, which I'm not. At this point, I'm just kind of like, I'm there, but I'm like, eh. I don't do as much posting as I probably should be. And sometimes when I do post, it's probably, I mean, it doesn't get any attention, so I just kind of assume that the people who do see it are annoyed with me for it. And it's kind of hard to post when thinking like that. But yeah, the fact that she liked this is a concern. It's a concern.
On your own tweets, and this person posted Bao liking their tweet where the person said, men that are crying about this are the same men that cry about us saying we choose the bear, referring to people upset about the previous post. And if you're not terminally online...
Man, yeah, I don't really know how to interpret the situation because it's pretty looking bad for Bao here, but with the initial post, I was giving her the benefit of the doubt because I don't know her well enough. So, there is that. But yeah, I'm hoping there's a good reason for this, but this is starting to look more and more like she's losing it.
The whole choose the bear thing is a situation where millions of women across the world have said, if I was alone in the woods and I had to choose one thing to be with me, I would choose a bear over a man. And that is just a lot of mental illness, to say the least. But then we have some other... I
apologize for this scuff. I keep having to fix a couple of different things. Alright, we should be able to keep going. What is this new post?
Twitch clips coming from her where she was making fun of people who were criticizing her, including men, and like making fun of their hairlines and stuff. And then she posted this on Discord, basically blaming everything going on, all the drama.
So, has she been seething about the Cinder shit this whole time? Did Bao get through? Here's the thing. I saw a lot of Too Long Didn't Reads, because, like I said in my Cinder video, where I kind of touched over, like, what was happening. I didn't read the document, even though I loaded it. It took, like, 3 minutes to load. I didn't read it because I just simply had too much going on in my life. I don't have 12 hours or even 6 hours to go through the document. I'm sorry. And people can get mad at me. I know people were saying, oh, hey, did you think that there's pyro pups in your name? Yeah, Mr. Gord was one of them. And he was saying what I was saying. So yeah, I understand that there are pyro pups who are upset about what was happening. I get it. But at the same time, going around harassing other VTubers for talking on it, and saying that they have a life that they need to tend outside of streaming and VTubing, is just disrespectful. Yeah, so, I get it. I'm trying not to make too much fun on the pyro pups. I mostly aim a lot of the stupidity that's happening between Cinder and Nano and everything. I try to keep it condensed to just those actors. To just the VTubers. Like, I'm not even equating the entire community in. But this looks like that Val is getting upset with the Pyro Pups acting a certain way. And if it's anything like what I've been dealing with, I'd probably be frustrated too, but she also was probably dealing with it on a much larger scale than I did, because I only had like maybe 5 people show up. This is probably like 500,000 people showing up. I don't know. Crazy.
Pups, which are Cinder's fans, and also grifters, because of course, the grifters, it's always their fault. And that's where we left off.
Yeah.
It wasn't a situation that was super huge. It was a part of a bigger web of drama going on in the English VTubing scene, which, if, you know, when is there not a bunch of drama going on? But this is where we pick off since last time. She would double down again.
I muted Maxer because I don't know. I just, he posts some weird stuff on my timeline. I wasn't following him before, but he would sometimes pop up, and I get that people like his videos. I don't, and I apologize. But I ended up muting him because he was just kept appearing saying weird shit on my timeline. So I just, yeah, I got nothing personal against him. There's certain things I just don't want on my feed. I'm sorry. Yeah, what the hell is Bao doing? What is driving you to act this way? Like, there's clearly something going on.
On this tweet where she is clarifying, or trying to, the one where she's being accused of misandry, where, ironically, she responds to a large male content creator who has like 1.5 million subs on
so she
YouTube, where she said, "I said if Harvey Weinstein invites you to a party, don't go." And it ruffled some feathers. And as I pointed out, this was my only interaction on Twitter with this whole situation. I just simply said, that's literally not what you said, with a screenshot.
Yeah, she was way too vague. She's being way more straight to the point here. So she generalized too close to the sun, I think. If that was what she actually meant. But I feel like she's being a lot more dishonest than I'm probably giving her credit for. So I'm not sure. I don't know her well. I'm just a spectator on the sidelines.
What she said. She's talking about content creators, and specifically male content creators, love bombing small female content creators, and she's describing it here as Harvey Weinstein. That's a totally different situation. Yes, I get what she's trying to say down here, and the caution, the small content creators.
I think she had just left it at the 2. I don't think she should have said this at all, or she should have at least clarified her first one. It's hard to say something so general and vague without being misinterpreted these days. But yeah, she really shouldn't. I think she really should have just not said this.
In that situation, but you were not talking about Harvey Weinstein. That's not why people were upset with this, and that's why people are pointing out the inconsistency here. But then, around that same time, she made this tweet, which will be pretty much the focus of the rest of the video, where she said, "Artists, please ask permission before publicly posting finished commissions. I know you're really excited about finishing a really cool commission, but you might accidentally spoil a client's project. So many commissions I just gave up doing anything because it was posted before I could do anything with them."
Okay, for starters, you're supposed to talk with the artist about this. I know in VGen they have a dedicated section to this, where you're supposed to say, hey, don't post it right away. And it's like on one of those, it's like you have the chart to fill out on VGen, but you also are, you DM them and you talk with them about it too. And you're supposed to do that before, the project goes on too far. So, if you had this conversation with them, and they still did that, that's on them. And I can understand why she's being frustrated. But, I think I remember, I forget which video it was. I think it was a Hero Hey video who kind of highlighted this a little bit. Because I remember seeing that video, but he didn't really cover the whole thing. He didn't cover some of the other posts that Rev is covering here. He is saying that sometimes artists have early access that they enable for some of their followers to see what they're working on. And that's why they posted on socials. But I think about if you are having a problem with that, you need to start enforcing NDAs. That's and if they're not okay with it, then I guess they don't get paid. I mean, it's really that simple. I don't know what to tell you there. Like, that's something an NDA can fix. Other than that, yeah, I mean, I feel like Bao's just getting upset because of lack of communication here.
And before this gets deleted, spoiler, gets deleted, it would have several million views, and it got a lot of attention, including people angry at a specific platform, because about 30 minutes after she made this post, in the replies, she would say multiple times about Skeb. She would say several things about Skeb, but she said this: "I hate you, Skeb."
I don't know.
And a lot of people were angry at this platform.
Okay, I think this is like a Japanese art platform. That's something Hero Hate also mentioned in his video. I don't know anything about it other than it's in Japan, so I'm hoping Revka kind of goes into detail about it, because I know nothing.
Because they had a poor perception of what's going on that platform. Now, what is Skeb? Skeb is a Japanese art platform that's not like a traditional social media platform. It's more like an art lobby where you can go and commission Japanese artists, and a lot of VTubers, especially those from even outside of Japan, use this to get artwork of their VTuber model.
Okay.
And her tweets...
That's interesting. I have been sitting here wondering, how do I get seen enough to have people be willing to make, like, fan art of me? Now, with the previous model, I can understand people not wanting to do that, right? It was not the best looking model. But yeah, if I have to go through Skeb, I guess that's an option. I don't know if there's any, like, regional restrictions or anything, but I'll keep that in mind.
Would get some criticism, because people would say, hey, if you look at some of the settings on Skeb, if you commission art, you can request from the artist to hide, to basically shield the artwork so it's not being
so they have
shown to people who the commissioner doesn't want to see it, or it's not.
Okay, I'm sorry, I don't mean to talk over him too much. No, it sounds like they do actually have what I just mentioned that VGen has. Yeah, you're supposed to do that, and you're also supposed to talk with the artist just to make sure that they know. Because one of the problems I come up with VGen is that they don't check the application that you fill out sometimes, so you have to talk with them too. Which is, I'm gonna be honest, it's very annoying. It's very annoying that I have to do that and fill out the application. I wish you guys would just, you know, if you get the application for someone to talk to, at least just review it. Alright, anyways, let's keep going.
Not made public. That is something you can request, but she says it's usually ignored due to Skeb policies. Sadly,
ignored?
Not sure why they would even give the option.
Ignored.
But during this time, there's kind of two layers. She's talking about the hiding option, but also she's implying and requesting that these artists do not post the finished commissions anywhere until she's ready for it, which will be a big issue in just a second. She is,
I mean, to be fair, she is a big VTuber, like big VTuber, with a lot of eyes on her. So I understand why she would want this. But if she's not telling her artists in DM that this is what she wants, then I don't really know what to tell you. You gotta do more than just fill out the sheet. You gotta tell them too. Or bring an NDA, like I said earlier.
But this clip rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. I think it's stuff like this that makes a situation that's maybe a 2 out of 10 on the serious meter too much more, because it shows a particular attitude people don't like. In this clip, describing the outrage and drama she was facing, she basically said, I'm not in any sort of controversy right now. I'm just engagement farming. I'm just rage baiting people.
Is this low resolution? No, I'm crispy. Yeah, I'm crispy. It's just the clip is low res. I can understand if she was just venting, because a couple of artists actually did this. But if she's just engagement farming, and she's just throwing a bunch of artists under the bus for it, what the fuck? Starting to wonder how much more was happening behind the scenes with the Cinder stuff and Bao. I'm wondering what if Red knew more about what was happening with Bao than he let on. I don't know.
Canceled 4 times in a month, canceled 4 times in a month. Nuh-uh, guys. It's not being called canceled. It's called engagement farming. Thank you very much. Here we go again. Come on.
You did this to yourself,
guys, I'm so dead ass.
Yeah, this is where a lot of people were lost. Even people are kind of hanging on to everything going on here and giving her the benefit of the doubt. They're like, that doesn't look good. Because if you're just claiming you're engagement farming, even if that is true, that doesn't look good because you're just saying a bunch of dumb stuff for attention on Twitter. I don't know why you would want to be doing that and wasting your time and getting frustrated over it. And if she's lying, she's downplaying the criticism she's getting from many people, including a lot of her fans, over the recent tweets. And things would get worse because this morning...
Alright, before I continue, yeah, it just doesn't look good for her overall. She shouldn't have said any of this. Ranting to close friends is one thing, and it gets leaked, and then, that probably shouldn't have happened. But she did this on main, on Twitter. And then is wondering why people are mad at her. Yeah, I'm sorry, Bao, but this just doesn't look good for you either way.
Skeb, on their Japanese-speaking account, would make a post in English clearly talking about what Bao had said and her claims about their platform. And they would say all works on Skeb, all the rights to them belong to the creators, the artists.
Right.
Clients, like Bao, cannot restrict creators from publishing their works for any reason. This notice is shown 4 times before sending their first request.
Okay, it is written policy. I can understand why you wouldn't want important projects leaked. But if you're not even allowed to bring an NDA into this, then Bao, if this was a problem, you really should have gone to a different platform. To a platform that does protect you a little bit. And the thing is, I say this as someone who's also worried about client protections, too, when it comes to artists, because I feel like... Because I want to be supportive of more artists, but I know there's a lot of bad actors in the scene, too, that I am very wary of. It's part of why it's this wariness that is the primary reason why I don't have a custom animated background. I have a freaking recording... I have a freaking recording of a video game called Tiny Glade. Because I could not find an artist who could make a background that I wanted. And when I tried to look for him, I get called a grifter. Because they started bringing up something that often got promoted alongside AI art, even though it was confirmed. I didn't know that. But instead of just calmly clarifying that, no, it's not AI, they called me a grifter. So, it's just... Oh, sorry. It gets frustrating sometimes to deal with certain types of people in the artist scene. But I would be all too happy to support artists when I can afford to. I just can't always afford to, and then sometimes I get called a grifter for no fucking reason. So, it is what it is.
And they cannot proceed unless they check the box agreeing to it.
Yeah, Bao should not have gone to Skeb if this was an issue.
Times you have to physically click all of these boxes agreeing to their TOS. Long story short...
Here's the thing. Okay. Here's the thing. I understand why they're doing this, and it's like, okay, sure, but at the same time, this kind of falls into the whole... You're agreeing to something that's required for your work against your will. It's the whole forced TOS bullshit that all the companies do, and it has been actually normalized for decades now. I don't know. Something about this sits with me wrong about Skeb. I understand why they're doing it. I'm not hating them for it. It's just the whole, you have to click this or you can't use anything. It feels weird to me. It always has. I never really liked it. But it's so normalized that complaining about it just seems weird now. So, sorry, I was on a random tangent, I'm sorry.
She really didn't read the TOS, and she got a false impression. It was basically requesting that these artists do not post their finished artwork, the finished commissions, anywhere until she was ready for it. And that is literally against their TOS. As a client, you cannot specify where they can post the finished commission. You can, however, request them to hide it on Skeb, and they can request that or not. But in regards to other platforms, they have every right because the artist owns the copyright. It is their arts. It's a...
Well, I mean, there you go. If it's policy and it's... I mean, they can't really enforce their policy on other websites that well, I imagine. So I understand why they don't enforce it, but yeah, if it's just... If they're saying that the artist owns the rights, you know, and you agree to it, that's it. You should have looked for a different platform, Bao. I'm sorry.
Commission for people like Bao. And when these artists have this copyright, they can post it on their social media. That is the rule. It's in the TOS, and they repeat it 4 times. So it's very clear how things work here. And, well, shortly after, she would delete her previous posts about Skeb. And, well, yeah. I think because of the clip where she's talking about engagement farming and all this stuff.
What a meme.
People, they looked at this even differently. Like, you were just going around rage baiting people, but now all of a sudden you're deleting tweets when you get corrected by the platform. People, I think rightfully, thought you were talking about. And then she would come out with another statement, and people are clowning on us.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's a non-apology. She says, "My original tweet was not about Skeb. It was about my general experience with commissioned art. My opinion of Skeb was an afterthought. I get why people are thinking the former. I haven't used Skeb in almost a year."
Why are you complaining about it now, then?
That, and a lot of people are skeptical of what she's claiming there because this is the original post before it was deleted.
Yeah.
It was posted at 12:08 p.m. describing this whole situation involving how commissioned art is being shared before.
That doesn't make sense. Why are you complaining about something a year ago? Like, it's just clearly lying. Like, you post something like this and then you delete it. Just kind of makes it feel like what you originally said before had more weight to it, more truth to it than what you're saying now. I'm sorry, Bao. I can't take you seriously.
The commissioner is ready for it to be made public, or when they would prefer. So 12:08, and then at 12:39, so just over 30 minutes later, in the replies to the main post, she says, "I hate you, Skeb." So obviously people are going to get the impression you're talking about Skeb. And that post was up for days. I mean, it's been up for basically 4 days.
Oh, wow.
Okay, wait. Deleted, and people...
For some reason, I thought that they made it... I mean, maybe it just came off like she deleted it like maybe an hour or 2 after. Or maybe like a couple of hours after. No, I didn't realize this was up for days. Okay, now I understand why people are clowning on her for it. She deleted it because she got too much heat, and now she's trying to change the story. Got it. Got it.
We're already correcting her, but it didn't seem to really register. And she made another reply, like 2 hours...
Yeah, no, this is not engagement farming, Bao.
Saying, "I hate Skeb with a burning passion. I just don't think I have it in me to trust another similar platform." So it continues on, and there was the other post we looked at that was... the next day or 2 days later. So she was continuing to say negative things about Skeb in the context of her original tweets, even here saying that or implying they're untrustworthy. It's just not a great look. I think I have a hard time believing this is all just a coincidence.
No, I think she actually is covering her tracks at this point. She crashed out a little too hard, a little too close to the sun, and now is trying to pretend she didn't. You were better off just not saying anything, Bao. I'm sorry. This isn't this isn't the way to do things, and you of all people should know better.
Just seeing the timeline of events and the context, it's you should understand why people thought you were talking about Skeb, and we didn't get a clarification for like 4 days. So she continues on saying, "My tweet went way out of my circle and understandably lead a lot of people to think..."
Okay. Why did you post it outside of your circle to begin with? Don't you have like a Twitter community? Don't you have a Discord? Why did you post it outside of those? If you didn't want people on main noticing what you were saying, don't say it on main. I mean, you're kind of just doing this to yourself at this point.
What I was saying, to be 100% about Skeb, it wasn't.
Oh my gosh. You said you hate Skeb multiple times. What do you mean?
The thing is, she's saying the tweet went out of her circle. Like,
sorry
no
about
offense. That. You have 664.
Yeah, she's more than 500,000 people following her
on Twitter. Everything's gonna be out of your circle. Like, it's a fact. The more your account grows on Twitter, the less fun it is, because you're not in your bubble anymore, and everything you tweet is gonna be open to scrutiny and people wanting to engage with it for attention or what have you. So you're not gonna have as much fun. And I don't believe someone with an account this big should be surprised anything gets out of their kind of...
And she's tweeting like she's only got like 60,000. Like, not even 60,000, 600. It's like, this is the kind of like engagement farming I expect from someone who's trying to be seen on Twitter, not someone who is already well known. I've crashed out about platforms before, like with Etsy and the whole AI art generating bullshit that they've been selling. They're supposed to be for handcrafts, from actual artists. And they've done nothing about the AI generated stuff. And then the Cloudflare outage happened, and then I got IP banned because I tried to log in during that time. So they probably thought I was like one of the things attacking them. So I just don't even use Etsy anymore. I'm not even gonna bother trying to fix it. I don't know. This was just a bad idea, but you shouldn't have said this.
The internet, an armchair expert here comes out with another great graphic. He talks about a lot of PR stuff, and this is a great...
All right, hold on. I want to look at this. I'm sorry I'm pausing a lot. It's I pause a lot. If you don't like it, I'm sorry, but I'm not changing. Oh, sorry, I'm not changing my ways. You get what you're being served. Should I post a tweet? Who am I writing this for? Myself? I'm starting a journal, or vent to a friend instead. Okay. Target audience, are they going to listen to me? No, vent to a friend instead. See, the are they going to listen to me part is kind of a flip-flop thing, because it's like, sometimes you're trying to reach out to people, like you're actually trying to reach out to an audience. Or even just people in general, but it just doesn't get listened to anyways. So, I don't know. So that's kind of a flip-floppy one. Do you mind if people outside of that target audience see my tweet? No. Is what I'm saying consistent with the morals? Wait, hold on. Let's see. We got yes and no. If it's yes, delete the post and close the app, or consult a professional to reword it accordingly. Okay. No, is what I'm saying consistent with the morals, character, and overall image I wish to project in my audiences, future and present? Yes, send it. No, delete the post and close the app. Okay. Fair. Fair.
And, well, she continues on, talking about kind of where she was coming from, and she was worried that some of the not safe for work commissions would be connected to her Skeb profile,
what?
And that...
What? Did she commission not safe for work stuff on Skeb? Val, are you dumb? You go to a website that proudly says that its creators have the right to do whatever it wants with it on social media. And your first impression is, yeah, let's go hit up a not safe for work artist. Oh my gosh, listen, I should reword that. You are being dumb in the moment. Maybe you're not dumb in total, because obviously you are one of the top VTubers up there. But in this very specific moment, you have become stupid. I don't know how to word it. I am. It's early in the morning for me. I'm sorry.
She was okay with them posting it on Twitter with no connection, but it doesn't really seem like any of this was clear in the previous post. I'm glad she's clarifying some things here.
Yeah.
But it's kind of late at this point.
Yeah, this is just damage control at this point.
I understand why this confused artist, but even in my replies, I did not spread misinformation about Skeb. Of course, this all hinges upon the assumption she wasn't talking about Skeb, which I think the majority of people being objective here They see the connection, they see the timing, they see the context. They implied or thought it was being implied about Skeb, and I think that was reasonable to assume. And then her replies to this just make it worse. This person says, I saw it and just thought it was you having a moment of frustration. Sorry it left your bubble. There we go with the bubble again. And just became another reason to criticize you. And she says, it really was never that deep.
Maybe, but you probably shouldn't have said it anyways if you didn't want people to criticize you for it. A lot of people are sensitive about certain topics these days, especially on Twitter. And you've been on Twitter longer than me, for fuck's sake. You should have known better, Bao, and for some reason you didn't. So, I mean, I guess you reap what you sow in this case. Enjoy cleaning up your mess.
So, why make the post?
Exactly.
Why continue to talk about Skeb so much over the past couple of days?
She's just pretending to not be angry when she clearly was.
I think it was a little bit deep, because this has been a
definitely
ongoing
personal,
thing for
at least.
days and days, and she's been actively engaging with it, including on her streams and mocking the situation. And then you have this reply that's getting a lot of attention, where they say "me when I lie," showing the original post and saying it's contradicting her current statement. And then she says, "Post my replies."
I hope they did, because it didn't make it any better.
Dog, which, as pointed out, you can't. They're deleted. It's only screenshots. So I think she's trying to say...
Yeah, alright, well, there's that too.
You know, there's
some people
more
had a couple of them,
context
but...
in the replies, but you deleted all the context. And I still think with the timeline, it
she's
looks
just
like
rage
you're
baiting
talking
at this
about
point.
Skeb. But then, a couple hours after that, she would make another post in response to the backlash.
Also, is it just me, or did his glasses just get massive suddenly? Like, I know he had pretty big, chunky glasses, but it feels like his glasses got way bigger for some reason. He's got, like, I don't want to say Coke bottles, or, like, baking dishes for glasses. I don't know if he messed with the setting on accident or not, or what's going on. I'm sorry, I just noticed it. It's comically huge. I don't think they were always like this. I feel like they were supposed to be a little smaller. Yeah, I wonder why, like, if she was just mad about how Skeb handles things, I mean, that's kind of on her, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, you have the right to be upset, but posting it on main was a bad idea. And and all you're doing is just making it worse. I wonder if maybe she's been getting hit with a lot of the, I don't think she's on Twitch because of the, what was it, the South Korean restrictions? That, people from South Korea can't make money on, they can't become affiliates. So I think she moved to YouTube. And she's probably getting hit with a lot of the same, like, algorithmic changes that everyone else is seeing on YouTube. So I'm wondering if this is just like a weird, desperate attempt to get more attention on her because of the changes. So, I don't know. Just theory crafting a little bit. At this point, it's like, oh, if someone comes up and like, oh, hey, why don't you just ask her? Well, she's lying. That's why I don't want to ask her. She won't tell me the truth. It's just kind of how it is. I hope she figures out how to clean this up.
On the previous one saying, I haven't been acting like myself at all. I feel that this year poisoned me deeply.
Yeah, you think?
And I'm not able to focus on anything but all the negatives. It's all I can think about, and it's not fair to air it out in a space that's trying to heal. I am impulsive, and I don't think
we see
things
that
through. I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and that is a terrible combination.
So do I, but I always try to wear a sleeve over that sleeve because I don't want people seeing it sometimes. Because bad things have happened when I have let that sleeve get exposed, so I try not to talk. I'm honest and I don't mind that, but there's a lot of deep emotions that I don't even tell even the people closest to me. Because I don't think they'd understand, or it's very personal. So, so yeah. There's a time and a place, Bao, to post stuff like that, and, you know, you could have probably posted this at any time, but it was definitely not the place to post it. Definitely not the place.
Irresponsible and really dangerous. I am very sorry. At worst, I am dumb as F, not malicious. So, unfortunately...
I'm gonna say you're a little of both, honestly. Just to be fair. Because it's like, they're saying you're rage baiting. As a way of covering up what you were saying. I feel like there's at least some malice in there, some maliciousness in there. It's not like to an extreme degree, but there is some, and you should have just at least... I hope you're at least being serious when you say you're sorry that you fucked up, at least. But at the end of the day, actions matter far more than what your apology would ever... anything you ever say in your apology, so... I guess let's see if you clean up your act and maybe get yourself sorted out. I know you've been through a lot because of the Cinder shit, but still. Don't take it out on everybody else. Don't take it out on the Japanese platforms.
The quotes, they're not looking great.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's going to get a lot of support, and I'm sure some people will see this and be like, all right, let's move on. And I think this whole thing's going to blow over in a couple days, but...
It will.
People are, mocking
People stop paying attention after a bit.
Quotes that she tripled down on misandry and now Skeb and have to make an indirect response, and now it's just backpedaling and saying that she's dumb and this is why it's happening, and then people saying there's no accountability being taken, and I don't know what this person's saying.
What?
Sounds,
okay, that's an
ridiculous.
idiot. That's an idiot just being an idiot.
People saying F off, go farm engagement. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
That's what people are feeling. No. You were indeed malicious, a normal person.
Definitely a little bit
throw
malicious.
Others under the bus for bait or farming engagement, as you said on stream. That was a pure vile attitude. So essentially what you said is, all you said is what you really think out loud, and now people are angry about it, essentially. And yeah, it goes on
a little bit, but
I think you get the point.
You want to say stuff out loud like that, that's fine, but just be expected to take some heat if it rubs people the wrong way. Just real simple.
As I just said, I think this is going to blow over.
Yeah, people they have short attention spans.
And, I hope she figures things out. Probably just stop tweeting for a bit.
That'd be best.
I think that's good advice to literally anyone at this point, especially anyone with a large following who's already facing a bunch of backlash for many different things. I think the more you try to explain things, the worse it's probably going to get in a lot of situations.
Right.
And here, well, this whole thing kind of blew up in her face, but... Anyways, I know a lot of people are still going to be her fan. Some people might walk away, a lot won't.
I doubt people will walk away that easily. It's fine. I'm going to just stop here for the video because I don't think there's much more he can really say at this point. But yeah. Oop. Sorry, I didn't mean to get that close. But yeah, Bao, I think, really should not have posted that publicly. And she was indeed a little bit malicious, at least a little bit. And I hope she takes a good break. It sounds like she's burning out a little bit. Don't be afraid to take a hiatus. You are big enough to get away with taking a hiatus and coming back to a massive group of people. If I were to take a hiatus, I'd just get punished by every platform on existence. So, I know it's taking a lot of breaks this year, so... shit's been crazy for me too, but... I wasn't talking about it on main. Because I don't think anybody cared. So, anyways, I guess that's just a different opinion. Anyways, if you enjoyed this reaction, attempt to go back to reaction content, I don't know if I'm actually going to stick with it, I'm going to be honest. Because I stopped it because it was too much for me at once. And I definitely put a lot of power into the hands of my viewers, and I think that was a mistake. I'm not saying I don't like my viewers, but what I am saying is that when it comes to already struggling to do a lot at once, and giving myself too much to do, I think the last thing I need to be doing is trying to meet the demands of... Oops, sorry, I don't know why that keeps happening. Is meeting the demands of so many people, and I apologize. But if you like this reaction, definitely thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure your notifications are on because YouTube keeps turning them off. Set your subscribe page as your home page, because that's also a thing you gotta start doing too. I've been doing that for years. I don't know why people haven't been doing that. And yeah, share it around. I hope maybe we'll see what happens with this video. If it goes well, maybe I'll go back to reactions. I probably won't do it as hardcore as I used to. I'll probably be very light core. I still have my backlog. I'll probably continue to do watch parties on those. Because there's a lot of videos in there that are exceedingly long, and I just don't really think I should react to them. Which is why I stressed out to begin with. So, yeah. Do those things, and maybe I'll see you next time. Bye!